So yeah, this is lockdown part 2 Eve. As of 6 p.m. tomorrow, I'm in for 2 weeks. So yeah,
Well, thank fuck Bristol didn't get to the final then.
Off in the summer to enjoy myself and go down to Devon and see family, and again that's been stopped. So that's brilliant. I got a week off, sat at home. Last time I had any time off where I could go anywhere before lockdown was this time last year. So I've had a whole year where I've not had any time off to go anywhere. So yeah.
So
it's fun.
So how many packs are you going to buy on your week off?
Oh, here we go.
No, I'm not doing it.
He's been committed this year.
I'm not doing it this year.
I know I kind of ruined it when I bought the 30 quid worth of packs, but I was like, he bought the Ultimate Edition, I was like, I bought the Standard one, so I was like, the 30 quid equals it out.
I'm not doing it.
No, we're not doing it. Jamie, how are you?
Yeah, no, I'm feeling pretty good. Just obviously finished my first term of being a teacher. Kids left today. They start their half term. I've got one more staff only day, and then I'm on half term for a week and a bit. So I'm like my own little mini lockdown, but I can actually go places. So yeah, I'm in a pretty good place. I'm starting to get into FIFA. So I feel like I'm gonna hit a real peak now of literally doing sod all for a week and a half, just sitting on the PS4.
To be fair, you've never really travelled outside Plymouth anyway, so lockdown's no different.
No, yeah, well, I mean, Cornwall doesn't really count, but yeah, like I went to Taunton. That was pretty adventurous for me.
Wild. So. Oh man, I'm just getting bored of it all now. Really, in all honesty.
Aren't we all?
At the end of the day, it's a flu. We can't live in fear of it.
Yeah, you got to get on with life. Like it's the same in school. Like as much as things are going to change and stuff, we got to go on with it. Stop knowing about it.
Oh yeah. Anyway, enough doom and gloom. So for our viewers, everyone that watches, we do as the lads. We've got a little group chat, and we do a daily football quiz question. Monday to Saturday, and then general knowledge on a Sunday. And I haven't sent today's question into the group chat yet, so us three are going to do it live on the pod, and then I'm going to send the question to the boys after the remaining boys after, and they can answer in the chat, and I'll let you all know what their answers are.
But, can you just let the viewers know where we kind of are in the standings so they can expect what standard of question or answer they're going to get?
So I am leading still. Miraculously.
That's been pretty much a full calendar year.
I have been.
Yeah, I don't remember a point where Percy hasn't been winning.
I've done well. I think I've got the general knowledge questions. That's where I'm leading from.
Yeah.
Because everyone puts in these fucking 10-point questions. It's like, well, hang on, you're losing out on 10 points there.
Yeah, that's
Let's
what
be
I was
smart
thinking
about
with my questions.
But yeah, but anyway, I'm leading, and then we've got Ryan is now ahead in second after sharing it with Sam for a little bit, but he's now ahead, which means Sam is third. Chug is fourth. Jamie is fifth, and Lucas is
quite a way back. Can I say quite a way back?
Far behind, yeah. So yeah.
So when I do answer the question, let's not try and laugh at me at all. Right? I try my best. I do my part.
Just to prove that is Wednesday's question, so I have not cheated.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. Here we go. Right, which footballer who played for Scotland from 2002 to 2013 and captained his country also represented Newcastle, Darlington, Hibernian, Derby, Celtic, and Wigan?
Oh God!
We have got 1 minute to answer from now.
What's the name of the teams?
Newcastle, Darlington, Hibernian, Derby, Celtic, and Wigan.
Newcastle and Scotland. That has to be a link. The only way I'm going to get it.
Wigan and Scotland's got to be a link.
2013. That's like prime Prem.
He captained his country as well.
Oh, I know.
That's what I'm thinking. But he said from 2002 to 2013.
Yeah, he ain't gonna be playing now, obviously, because that was a long.
No. Who would have been playing at that time?
We have 25 seconds left to get an answer in.
Is it Gary Caldwell?
Don't
even know who that is.
I would not have got that. That's a fantastic shout. I would not have got that, so I will just pass because I would not have got that.
I'm passing as well. Don't even know who the bloke is.
Right.
It was the Wigan, if it is right.
Do you want to know now, or should I put it in the chat first? What should we do?
Put it in the chat and see what everybody say.
All right.
Yeah, we can come back to it later.
I'll just put it in the chat now.
Oh, that came from here, I think. Yeah.
That was a very Thomas Kuszak style answer.
That was.
Oh dear. Right, let me just put it in the chat.
So yeah, for the viewers at home, you can kind of see the thought process of how one person who's very close to second is able to pull something out of his ass, and the person who's at the bottom of the leaderboard doesn't even know about the person he's talking about.
Yeah, Gary Caldwell played for Wigan.
He did play for Wigan.
Definitely Scotland around that time.
Yeah.
I think this is the issue. I didn't really get into like football until I'd say 2008, 10, and then even then my knowledge was very select because I'd only ever watched the teams I wanted to watch. So anything outside of that, I didn't know. Now I feel like my knowledge is better. Like if you ask me modern questions, I can have a good guess, but. Yeah, I feel it'll be a couple of years before I even start making any headway in the leaderboard.
Oh yeah, just to explain my reaction to that question, we fucking hate Scotland. Football, not as a country. For any Scottish viewers that we have, love Scotland, but Scottish football is poor, and a lot of the questions we've had have been related to. I feel like it's a Scottish company that's made this.
It's gotta be.
But a lot of the questions they say like 3 events, like what year did they happen? There's always like fucking, I don't know, Hearts winning Div 4. Fucking when did that happen? Who cares? Who cares when Hearts won Div 4? Like, just who cares?
As soon as Ali McCoy retired, I forgot about Scotland.
Yeah, we all stopped watching.
Definitely. Although, having said that, have any of you seen Rangers halfway line goal yet?
I have not.
I would have a go at finding that. They've scored a halfway line goal and it is a cracker. Fair play.
They're top of the league at the moment, though, aren't they?
This is in Europa League.
Oh, Europa League.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's a very.
I came upstairs from sort of watching the Arsenal game. I know they went 1-0 down and now they're 2-1 back up. Yeah. So
no, it's a very good goal. And I'd find it whenever you can.
It's good now. I like Steven Gerrard up there, making it a bit more interesting. But it's still a bit.
Yeah, that's the only link. As a Liverpool fan, it's the only link I've got to Scotland football. Otherwise, I couldn't give a shit.
Interestingly enough, you boys will know Milo, who's a close friend of my brother. He actually saw Steven Gerrard up in Scotland because he went to go work in Scotland for a year.
Yeah.
And he used to walk his dog around the premises where like Miles lived because they were being like rented out in a place. And so he said there was like 2 or 3 days in a row where he saw him in the exact same spot at the exact same time, and he started to worry that Gerrard would start thinking he was a stalker. So then he started going different ways on purpose. I thought it was brilliant.
I would have carried on following him. I would have been a stalker.
It's Gerrard's biggest quality. Always ask him. So I believe that story.
Right. So that was a lovely bit of excitement. A live quiz, a YouTube first live quiz question. I don't even want people to challenge me on that because I know it's a fact. So just, yeah.
It just is.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. So also, last couple of weeks we've had an international break, which, as both a football and betting fan, is just boring and horrendous because betting on international football is just shit.
Awful.
The odds are just terrible. Although the odds have actually been better now we've had the Nations League because they're actually competitive.
Yeah.
But still, I hate betting on international football. And then we also had our first ACCA weekend as well at the weekend. Which went really, really, really well, I thought.
My ACCA was dead after the first game, so that was always good.
Never bat the early game. Gandhi. That's Gandhi. That's a
I know,
Gandhi
if
tip.
I was like Liverpool, surely we'll just be fine. But like you lot have got bigger worries now with Van Dijk gone.
Yeah.
But for
Reece
Liverpool
Williams
fans,
is just like as good. So
I wonder who's going to be in goal for both your two teams. I guess who it's not.
he's in prison. He's not even he's in prison.
Oh dear. So yeah, again for our viewers, we've got another group chat, all the uni boys, and we are picking 7 teams every other week, I think, at the moment.
Is it every other week? I thought it was every week.
I think it's every other week. I'm happy to
fair.
do it every week. We need to discuss it. But yeah, we're picking 7 teams, just straight result, win, lose, or draw. No cash out allowed. And then see who gets the most ACCA wins at the end of the season. Only £1 on the bet. I got 3 out of 7. I was on for 5 out of 7 and then 2 late goals. I needed 2 late goals to win it. Instead, I had 2 late goals to go from 5 out of 7 to 3 out of 7.
I think I also got 3 out of 7.
Because fuck Chelsea.
I didn't even look. I gave up straight away after the Liverpool draw. So
I was surprised people backed that Liverpool game. I was avoiding that. I was always going to avoid that.
Yeah.
Even if it wasn't the early kickoff, just a Merseyside derby is just so unpredictable.
Yeah, especially the way Everton were playing as well.
Villa to beat Leicester and a West Brom Burnley draw. There were 2 out of the 3 I got right.
So you got the that's just betting. That is just betting.
There you go.
Oh dear. But yeah, so what do we think of England's last 2 games?
I think it was the most classic England international break of all time.
Yeah.
We heavily rotated against Wales. I know it's just friendly, but worth talking about, I suppose. Beat them convincingly. Everyone sort of looked like they're playing well. Grealish used his sort of club form and looked very good internationally. And then Southgate decided that because Grealish isn't called Mason Mount, he's not going to play.
Yeah.
So he never got a sniff. Calvert-Lewin looked good.
Yeah.
Then Harry Kane right now is probably the most informed player on the planet.
Yeah.
So
well, we should be playing him centre mid, shouldn't we? With the amount of assists he's pulling out of his ass.
Striker, yeah, he's unreal. And yeah, so I think the Wales game was pretty positive. And then we went and beat Belgium, which I know they had like an injured De Bruyne, Courtois wasn't playing. They're missing a few players, as were we. I don't think Sterling was playing, which was actually a really, really good result. I think ranked first in the world, Belgium in the minute.
Yeah, they were.
Beat us twice in the World Cup 2 years ago. I think they've lost twice in about 15 games or something stupid.
Yeah.
So really, really good. Really fantastic result. And then Denmark happened. Maguire thought he was in Mykonos and started scrapping again. He was early shower after half an hour, and then from that it was just downhill from there.
Maguire...
it went pretty standard result against Wales, fantastic result against Belgium, and then back down to earth.
Yeah.
Maguire
just looks like he needs a break.
Yeah, I think the issue is as well though, like that price tag as being the most expensive defender in the world is too much pressure, and if he's any other player, he'd be dropped, and he has to work his way back into it. Just because he's got that price tag next to it, it's almost like he has to play, and I just don't think. He just needs a break from football. He needs a break away from like all of the pressure and stuff like that. Unfortunately, he's not going to get it because he's now just started the new season, but he is someone who I'd be worried about a little bit because he was fantastic in the World Cup. Like he had his mates there, like and all that sort of stuff, and it was memes for days and stuff like that with Harry Maguire there. But now I see him as a liability.
Yeah, I mean,
it's just pure confidence, isn't it? Like he's had obviously, I think the whole Greece thing's really sort of affected him. Man United's been sort of dodgy at the back. Last season they were very, very underrated for how defensively strong they were.
Yeah.
And he come back, made like 3 or 4 errors that led to goals. Then got sent off against England, or for England, sorry. And it's just, I mean, he was rested midweek in PSG, which will probably do him a lot of good. But yeah, you're right. Because of his 80 million, because he's captain of Man United, he's just undroppable essentially, which shouldn't be the case. Yeah, he should be picked up for.
Yeah.
So hopefully he can sort his massive head out and get back to it. Because when he's on it, he's pretty tidy.
He's pretty good. I mean, I don't know if he's the most expensive defender in the world, but he's pretty good when he's on.
Yeah, he's very useful. So
yeah, no, I agree with all that.
Unfortunately for England, we actually need him. We don't have a lot of options at the back.
Yeah, that's what I was struggling with. Like, I was discussing with Percy before, and I was going through my list. I was like, I've got one centre back, but I don't know who else I'd put there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll come on to that, but yeah, that was the trickiest part of the pitch for me.
Go on then. Let's hear both your two's goalkeeper. Then I'll be shocked if you two don't say the same name as what I've got down.
Wait, I've gone with someone who begins with a P.
Same here.
And it's not Pickford. It is Nick Pope.
Yeah, I've got Nick Pope as well.
I've also got Nick Pope, yeah.
But again, Southgate, got his head so far up Pickford's ass. I
think this is the issue with England managers though. Like, I remember that a couple. What was it like? Sven? They were just going off names. Yeah. And that was like the downfall to them losing their job. And it's like, Pickford now, right? Okay, he's stuck with him. Yeah, okay, he weren't necessarily great. Now he's come out in the Derby match, absolutely horrendous in that, in my eyes, sort of thing. Like, it's just reckless. He needs to be dropped to be like, oh, actually, I need to wind my neck back in a little bit. Like, that's my opinion. And I think Pope's been so great for Burnley. Burnley's just an awful place to go and play. You don't want to play him because they're going to be difficult. He's 6'7". Like, he's a difficult lad to get the ball by. So give him a chance, see what he's going to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pickford's very much in the same ilk as Maguire. The fact that he had a fantastic 2018. And I think he's never really done a huge amount for England that would make him be dropped. He's been pretty solid for England. But I think Pope's just been so good, and he's just pushed him so hard. And whenever Pope has had a chance, he's been like as good, if not better, than Pickford.
Yeah.
And really, all Pickford can do is kick a ball far, and that's it. Like, if you look at the numbers, which we all know I love to do, like Pickford's just better in every single sense. Pope's better in every single sense.
Yeah.
But I think Southgate's got his boys that he likes, and Pickford's one of them. Which, I mean, it's fine. But give Pope a chance.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Like, Pickford is the first keeper who helped us win a penalty shootout for England. Like, how many years was it before we had actually won a penalty shootout? So I can understand why he wants to stick with him. Like, he did really well for us in that World Cup. But like, you can't just keep sticking with him just because he did something really good 2 years ago. Like, you've got to keep going with the times. You've got to go with form.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Interestingly, based on our quiz, he saved Carlos Bacca's penalty against Colombia.
Yeah.
Right, so that was a pretty easy one. I guess now, what formation have people gone for?
I've gone for a 4-2-3-1.
Oh,
nice.
I've done the same.
I've gone 4-3-3.
All right,
interesting.
We've all gone 4 at the back, not 5 at the back. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
3 can't play with us, so it basically is a 4-3-3.
Yeah.
A bit more fluid.
Yeah, I definitely agree, as we all do, that it's 4 at the back because I say now I've picked Trent at right back, and I just don't. He doesn't fit a 5 at the back. Like. He's just won the Champions League and the Premier League in a back 4. So why are we now playing him in a back 5 for England? Don't get it. Don't get why.
Agreed.
Why change it for no reason?
I've gone someone different, but you'll find out reasons why later. I've gone for Wan-Bissaka.
See, he is on my bench. But I just love Trent.
I think he's good. I think he's been a little bit hyped up because being at Man U and was like, when they bought him, Like, he had a crazy tackle success rate and stuff like that. I think he's a solid player. He's young, got good potential. I think he's going to do a solid job at it right back. And I've given him the nod over Walker just because I want to give youth a little bit of time as well. That would be my reasoning.
I too have gone for Wan-Bissaka. I think it's obvious this season how sort of attacking minded Trent is, and defensively he's just not quite at it. I think he's always been very protected for Liverpool, whether that be sort of Henderson on the right, Fabinho covering him, Van Dijk coming across. It's always been very protected, and like when he's on his top form, it's not noticeable because everyone focuses on his sort of cross mobility, his attacking play. But if you're going to go into a tournament where you're not 100% sure on your starting centre backs, you're going to need someone who's going to put up huge defensive numbers. And Wan-Bissaka's been doing that. Did it for Palace, did it for United last season, doing it again this season. So yeah, I think if you're going to go for a tournament player, someone that you can rely on, just like Gary Neville goes on about it all the time. A defender's there to defend.
Yeah.
And I think we've sort of lost that a little bit. So I think, yeah, just a bit more security back there. I'd probably put Wan-Bissaka in. But, I mean, at right back, England got so many good options.
Yeah.
You mentioned Trent, you mentioned Walker. I think Reece James, I don't think...
Give him a couple of years before we start throwing his name in there.
Lamptey at Brighton.
He's been fantastic this season.
Unbelievable. Walker Peters.
Yeah.
Remember him?
Yeah.
Very good, solid start for Southampton. So yeah, I mean, England could probably put 11 on right backs and probably finish like pretty well at tournament.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think for me, go a bit defensive and Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah, to be fair, I think looking at it from a tournament point of view, you start with Wan-Bissaka just because he's solid, and then it's says you're drawing 15 minutes to go. You think let's just get Trent on. If they attack the right and they score from it and we lose, fuck it, we've got to go for it.
You went for it.
We bring Trent on. He's gonna hit a cross in somewhere, and it's just.
And with Trent, you can even put him midfield.
Well, yeah. Left back.
I'll go first. Typical Chelsea boy, Ben Chilwell, recently gone there. Picked himself up a goal. Well, yeah.
Who's Chidwell?
Oh, Chilwell, sorry, not Chidwell. Chilwell.
Classic Chelsea fan, get the name wrong.
Who did we buy? I know we bought someone good. Yeah, I'll put Ben in there. I think he's the best option we've got.
I've gone Chilwell.
Yeah.
Chidwell's on the bench for me.
He's a really good mix of both. He's really good going forward for Chelsea this season, but I think defensively he's underrated. So, yeah, he's just a really good mix of both.
I was watching the Chelsea FIFA reactions on YouTube, and Ben's card got brought up, and he was absolutely fuming with his defending rating. It's absolutely fuming.
I don't know how they make up the ratings.
They do make.
I mean, we could do a whole podcast on it. It's not even like they can pick. So apart like me being just into it and stuff like that, so they can't just be like, oh, we're going to give this guy like 89 pace, so therefore he's going to have like 89 sprint speed and whatever. It's all done on sliders. So if they go, right, he's going to have like 80 shooting, so it then depends on the slider of what like that category is. So his shot power, his finishing, like his volleys, like it all then gets affected onto that. So they can't just be like, oh, Ibrahimovic has 99 shot power, but is awful like in something else. Like it's all got to be like done on a scale, so it's stupid. And I don't know why FIFA do it that way, but I think it's too embedded in their game now for it to change. So we just got to deal with it.
Yeah.
Centre backs.
I have got Mings and Gomez.
Oh,
I've got Mings in my left centre back. I mean, for Aston Villa this season, they've been unbelievable. I think Mings, whenever he's played for England, whether that be in a back three or left-sided on a two, he's looked very good. He's got a very good left boot, which not many of our centre backs do have. I think Maguire's left-footed, but other than that, it's just Mings. And yeah, he's big, and he's 6'5". So
Yeah, he's a big boy.
You got that presence at the back which you need, and yeah, like I said, on form you've got to pick Mings. I've got Gomez next to him. He'll probably be the ball playing centre back, and the reason I put Wan-Bissaka in rather than Trent is odd because I know Gomez and Trent play together in club, but I think Wan-Bissaka just gives Gomez that defensive ability support, which allows Gomez to feed the midfield, and I think it's a pretty good balance having Mings and Gomez. I don't know what you boys think.
I've gone Cody and Gomez.
Interesting.
I do like Cody. I think he's a top character.
Yeah, he's not played in a back two for 3 years. He's always been in a back three, isn't he?
Yeah, I did just say that about Trent and being in the back five. So I have got Maguire and Mings on the bench. So
fair. I've gone for a different centre back partnership again. I've gone for Gomez and Stones. Now I know Stones is kind of going with what we've been arguing with form. Now let me finish my point. Okay, right? But I always feel that as well, Stones is not playing at Man City. Okay, he's getting in and out. And I think if you gave him that opportunity of playing for England, he's training with world-class players every week. He's then coming into a side where we're surrounding him. You see the rest of my team, but he's surrounded by world-class players as well. I think it will bring the best out of him. And he is in his prime. I know that's a long time ago, technically now. But in his prime, he's a very good ball-playing centre-back. And I feel like with our kind of team, I thought that would be best. Yes, I do agree. I think Mings is in much better form. But I would give him a chance. If it doesn't work, then we go different from there.
Give him a chance in the Euros game, yeah? Tournament football.
Yeah. Well, I have got Eric Dyer in there.
No one's mentioned Eric Dyer.
I know, but I'm just saying Eric Dyer was obviously tackling wise bad, but that was my thought process, and I'm hoping it would work, but
I don't agree, but it's very nice.
No.
Yeah.
Midfield, we've all got different midfields.
I've got 2 CDMs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I've got one. Well,
do you want to go for your one first then?
Sort of a CDM. It's just more of a solid player, and I have put Anderson in there, just to control it.
Yeah.
And cause,
solid pick.
Yeah, and just because he brings the best out of the players in front of him, which is why I've picked the 2 in front of him. That's why I've picked him, because he'll make them much better players in the way that he commands the game and controls the game. And he would be my captain. I know Kane's the England captain, but Hendo would be mine.
Yeah, fair. I can see that.
I also have Henderson, my CDM. My other one, Rice.
Oh,
I think he came on the scene, and everyone was thinking he's the next big thing. And then because everyone was thinking the next big thing, they were slating him and trying to bring him down. But he's never really dropped off massively. I know West Ham have had their issues. He's always looked the best player in the West Ham shirt. And over the last international break, he's constantly. But he's been. Did he play all 3 games? I think Rice did.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the defensively, he's very, very solid. He can also play centre back, so he will be my CDM that just sits and breaks and feeds sort of the Hendersons and the players at the pit. Then he can also, I think he did it against Belgium, where he linked up on the left-hand side, and he's a very, very good passer, Declan Rice. I think he's just got everything that you need in a certain defensive mid. And I think he hasn't quite got, he's not got the energy of a Henderson, where he was sort of bossing down the pitch and do that. But with Henderson next to him, Rice can just sort of sit in front of Mings, Gomez, receive the ball and just spray it.
Yeah.
While doing the dirty work. He does love a dirty little challenge, which I quite like.
Yeah, you do.
I Rice in the team.
Fair.
Yeah, like that.
So I've also gone for Henderson, but I've paired him up with Trent, and I would move Trent to a CDM. Now, the thought process behind this is kind of, as we sort of said, Trent has always been praised for his passing ability, and I honestly think at times he is the best England passer that we've got, cross and rise. He's got the best right foot, and I was watching him in the Liverpool-Everton game, and he was just at right back, and he absolutely just curled this ball like it was nothing. And I was just there thinking, if we gave him the opportunity, we gave him more freedom. He's young, he can get up and down the pitch sort of thing. He's got a good right foot on him. Right? And with the players that I've gone for and up front, I think it would work well with over-the-top balls. So with Henderson there next to him, he's got that bit of security. He's also got a back line behind him. He's going to be solid. So I would give Trent that opportunity to see can he play in the midfield. Because I know a lot of people have been asking for it. Kimmich kind of did it, moved from right back to CDM, and it's worked well. So I'd want to see if Trent could do it.
I think he will eventually do it, but again, tournament football, chucking him straight in there. I'm not. I reckon in 5 years' time, people forget that Trent was ever a right back. They'll just look at him as an amazing CDM. But yeah, it's a good pick. I mean, it's adventurous. I like it.
You'd have to get him on the old FIFA career mode reposition training.
Yeah. That'd be the first thing I'd be doing as the Liverpool team.
Right, so yeah, our forward midfielders then. Our attacking midfielders. I've obviously got two.
Who are your two?
I have gone, as much as I hate him, I've gone Grealish. I hate him, but we do need it. We need that. We need him in our team. We need that spark, really, and we need that flair. And then I've got a slash here. I've got Foden or Barkley.
Oh.
So obviously Foden, because I know he's fucked up, but fuck it, it's not massive.
Every player does.
It's not massive, and he, again, like Grealish, he's an up and coming. He's got flair. He's got a bit of character. And slash Barkley, because Grealish and Barkley already played together, so they'll just bring it into the England team. And I've always liked Barkley. I always thought he should have got a better chance at Chelsea, but obviously they bought in a lot of players, so he was never going to play at Chelsea.
Yeah.
And I've got an Aston Villa career mode going on FIFA 21, and those two are fucking bossing it for me. So no, yeah, so definitely Grealish, and then I'm not sure on Foden and Barkley. Whoever's in form at the time it comes to Euro 21, out of those two.
Okay, so Mount doesn't get a sniff then.
No. On the bench. He is on the bench.
Okay, I like that. I have gone, like I said, a 3 just behind the 1 in front of the 2. I've picked 3 players who I think will be very interchangeable.
I feel like you're about to say the same 3 names that I'm going to pick for the same reasons.
3 Rome, very hard to mark, a lot of pace, a lot of flair, and players who have performed well for England. I've got Sancho on the right, Rashford on the left, and Sterling just behind.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
I'm pretty sure Sterling's actually played behind the striker for England before, and it worked pretty well. I can't remember what striker it was. It could have been Kane a couple of years ago. I think on current form, Sancho is one of the hottest properties on the planet. And yeah, he's just the striker I have up front. I think these boys will just be fed and get so many chances. And right now, Rashford is the hero on and off the pitch we all knew we needed.
Yeah.
And it's always been that Sterling or Rashford debate. Well, I think actually now, because they both matured and they both have a lot of experience at club level playing multiple positions, they can just play together.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's very exciting. We had those 3 in front of Brighton.
Yeah, exactly the same sort of reasons as what I went for. I went for those 3 boys. The idea was that they're quick, they've got a lot of flair to them. Trent's hitting the long balls. I thought it would just work well. They can interchange, and it'd just be really, really annoying for a backline to deal with that.
Yeah, that's a good shout. So I've got Sancho and Sterling, but they are as my front wingers.
Okay.
Rashford's on my bench, and I'm still on the whole Rashford and Sterling either or at the moment. But I do like the idea of Sterling in behind. But I've gone with Sancho and Sterling as the wingers at the moment, which brings us on to our sole striker. Because the old 4-4-2 is dead nowadays, so just the one striker.
I've gone controversial. I haven't gone for it.
You've not gone Calvert-Lewin, have you?
I have.
You're an idiot.
I've gone for it. Okay, listen to the thought process behind it, right? Okay, now, so, yes, okay, Kane's been playing really well and stuff like that, but with the way that Everton, right, and I'm going off a little bit of form here, I do realise I'm talking out my ass a little bit, but still, with the way that Everton are playing at the moment, and with my 3 flair players behind, Calvert-Lewin has been a lot more focused on one-touch finishes, okay? And I feel that with those 3, that he will thrive in that. So I would trust him. If not, I'd just shove Kane on. Like, it's fine.
So you're saying that Calvert-Lewin, obviously fantastic in the air, proved it for England.
Yes.
I've started, this season in Ballon d'Or form. You're saying that Kane can't do that?
I'm not saying Kane can't do that. I'm just saying at the moment, I think Calvert-Lewin's doing it better.
Okay. Right. With the 3 behind that you've chosen, Rashford, Sterling and Sancho, you want them to go beyond Calvert-Lewin?
Well, yeah, it could do, potentially.
Yeah. So you're going to want a striker to be able to drop back, feed them in, mix up the play.
I mean, I feel again, it's all a bit experimental. I'm testing new things out as the New England manager. I want to see what works, what doesn't work.
Yeah, but it's Euro 21 now. Like now.
Oh, is it? Wow.
Oh, yeah, it's Euro 21. Would this be your opening group game, your third group game where you've already...
if it's literally opening group start, I haven't based this team off like we're starting the tournament and this is the starting 11 to go for. I'm like picking the team that I'd want to play. Then I'd have to pick Kane. I couldn't start Calvert-Lewin, who's only just got his first England goal. I can't start him in a tournament.
I mean, if Calvert-Lewin continues where he is now, then he's got an absolute shout. But then again, if Kane stays like he is now, he's got 13 goal involvements in 5 Premier League games, the most ever of anyone. He's probably the most informed player on the planet. If I was to choose a striker right now, it'd be Kane.
Yeah, I have to agree.
Like, even for England, when we've not been very good, he's got, 25 goals in about 30-odd games or something? His goal record's unbelievable. And he can take 3 kicks, as you know. So, I'm honest. So, he's just an all-round baller.
That'd be the first thing I'd get rid of.
Yeah, I would pick Kane. But yeah, I wouldn't, like I said before, I would not have him as captain. I don't think he's a great captain. I don't think
I don't think he has that leadership role.
I don't think he's a great motivator.
I've never liked it. I think you need someone who can see the game.
Yeah.
People, you can't see the game from striker.
He is honestly the most boring man in football. Oh man. Celebration is like a Shearer. Celebration's the same every fucking time. His interviews are literally the same. Just says the same shit over and over. He's like a robot. It's got no character, but he's a quality finisher and the best. Well, apart from Lewandowski, the best finisher in the world.
Yeah. Have you got Ringo Starr in your kitchen? That's it.
She's doing the washing up now, isn't she?
Well, go on then, Sam. Whilst we're waiting for Percy to make his way back, have you done a subs bench, or have you not gone that deep?
I haven't, but I can sort of bring one up now, potentially.
I've done a subs bench just because I thought that they deserved to be in that 18, whereas
Yeah.
other people would be outside of that. So I felt like they deserved to have their name mentioned.
Yeah, fair. I think you've got to have a goalkeeper on the bench, and as Henderson's not getting enough game time at the minute, you've got to pick Pickford.
Yeah.
I've not put Trent in my starting, so he's got to be on the bench.
Well, I've got Wan-Bissaka, so yeah.
I think Walker, as he can cover centre back and right back. And then, say if like Chilwell gets injured, put Mings on left, shuffle across Walker. I think we'll be all right. I actually quite like Winks. I think he's just someone he's like a BTEC PLO. He'll just sit there, do his job, nothing fancy.
Yeah.
And we need players. Grealish as well, just come on, he can play midfield, out on the wing, wherever. Calvert-Lewin as well. He's got to be on there, so that's 5. What's 2 more?
I mean, I've got a name that you haven't mentioned yet was pretty good last year.
Greenwood?
No, I was going to say Danny Ings.
Oh. Okay.
He deserves to have that spot on the bench to come on and see what he could do.
I think if I was already qualified 3rd game of the tournament, resting players, Ings would be in the 18. I don't think his style of football fits England.
No, I only got Kane and Calvert-Lewin.
Kane, Calvert-Lewin, Greenwood, Rashford.
Yeah.
It's tough to get in. Vardy, if you fancy a party.
He's retired now, isn't he, from international football?
Yeah, but the party's always on.
Yeah, it will be.
Oh, we're playing Czech Republic and Prague. You fancy it? I'm there.
As long as it's in March next year, then it'll be sound.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, so I put Greenwood there, and maybe a toss-up between Foden and Mount. I mean,
yeah,
fair.
Yeah, pretty similar.
I thought it's been interesting that one name that we haven't mentioned at all was James Maddison throughout this whole entire podcast.
Yeah,
hasn't even had a whiff in at any point.
Before lockdown, he was up there, and probably Dele Alli not been mentioned.
Oh yeah, we're not putting Dele in there. He can't do anything for Spurs. He's not doing anything for England.
I really like him. But yeah, Maddison. Yeah, if it was before lockdown, then but he's got injured and he's not really got that momentum going again, unfortunately. I think Grealish is definitely up him in the pecking order.
Yeah.
Sorry, Madders. You're in
That's
the
fair.
spot, but not in the 18. Sorry,
who would be social secretary? Don't really hear about that in football. We definitely hear about it in rugby, but social sec.
It'd have to be Trent, wouldn't it?
Nah, Trent's boring. I like him.
No, I don't know. Like any kind of like interaction I've seen with him, like where there's a camera and stuff like that, he always seems quite lively.
Yeah, but who's next to him? Andy Robertson.
That's true. I can't think of a clip now where Andy Robertson's not stood next to him.
Yeah.
I was going to say Foden.
They're like the Sam and Mark of football. Sam was a cheeky chappy, Mark was boring.
I'm just looking at my team now and I'm thinking, who's going to be that pie animal that's going to get people going? I'm like, anyone that's just boring.
Foden.
Nice.
Foden and Grealish.
I think Foden's learnt his lesson though. I don't think he's doing that again.
Mings.
It's difficult coming from the outside in and then trying to get all the big boys to like get involved in a pie. Like you've got to be in that group to be able to have a sort of say over it.
That's what I mean about football. You don't get the characters. Whereas in rugby, you know who's the social. You know Haskell's gonna fucking liven things up. You know Gender's gonna do something stupid. You just see all these characters. I just don't know. It's hard to pick.
You'd most likely just assume it would be one of the younger players, is what you'd have to go for.
It ain't going to be Kane. He's having 2 pints and he's in bed by 9.
Yeah.
And I mean, when your leader, Southgate, and generally in an interview once said he has water and maybe a beer on the weekend, it's not going to be a good time.
Yeah, but we're the managers. We are the manager. Let's just have us a social sex, I reckon.
Oh, well, I mean, if I was a manager and I had to organise it, I'd be in a taxi an hour and a half. So I'm not for a sec.
What? We're going to have a visitor on the pod in a minute.
Hello, mate.
There we go.
Hello. It's gone on YouTube. People are going to see this.
Oh, even more reason.
Who would be? What would be your team building activity then? Before tournament, you've got to get the morale going. What activity are you picking to get everyone like in a unit?
That is a good question, actually.
It'll be something relatively sort of risk-free.
Yeah.
All right, Gareth.
Look, I'm just thinking, all right? It's the Euros, the weight of the nations on my shoulders.
To be fair though, yeah, if like it got out, say like Rashford and Sterling got injured in whatever activity that you had picked, you are enemy number one, right?
I think wakeboarding, that's pretty safe, but a good laugh.
Good to. I'm trying to think of something I think it's got to be physical because like all those boys are. That's what their job is, sort of thing. That's what kind of gets them going. It would have to be some form of physical activity.
I'd probably get them involved in the England rugby boys. You know, do like a football versus rugby thing. Obviously not full contact because
you
don't want Billy Vunipola running at Sterling. To be quite honest, Tom Curry bloody smashes Maguire. But yeah, do like a rugby sort of football thing. I think the England rugby boys would quite enjoy that. You know, get the boys covered in pads and get smashed up. I think it'd be a good laugh.
Yeah, you cross fans over as well, wouldn't you? Because it'd get out there, and then it would be good for both sports.
Yeah, you know, Mara, OJ, and Rashford can talk about their OBs and stuff. It'd be lovely. That'd be afternoon.
I do think there should be more intersport connection, like on a fun.
I don't know why they do
level.
This whole thing of like just everyone's separated in a little bit away, and then like they give each other like a nod on Twitter to be like, "Oh, well done," like that's it.
Yeah, there should be more. Just we could get a cricket in there as well because they sound like they could have a right laugh. The cricket lot.
Well, cricket's just a drinking sport, isn't it?
Oh, the Barmy Army are fucking insane. I'd love to go to a game with that lot. Christ.
Need to do that. Need to like just someone in the FA just go to the Barmy Army and go, look, I'll give you free tickets, just come to the games.
Yeah.
Just get it going.
Yeah, I do.
I mean, at Wembley, you've always got like half the stand of 13-year-old boys. And it's just quiet, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it is. Right, so obviously we are the manager.
Yeah.
What are our fines going to be?
I mean, I'll go off what I'm like with a teacher, sort of, as I am like sort of a teacher. I'm firm but fair. Like this is my line, so I'd be like, I don't mind a bit of a mess about, but when we need to be serious, we need to be serious. So I'd be like late fees. Like I'd also be yellows, reds. I do all the typical stuff you're not supposed to do. Like that's kind of what I expect. Those would be the fines. I don't know how much it would be, depending. Well, actually, I don't know. It might have to be like an embarrassing thing. Or it might be like a fine of like money. But yeah, I would be like that with my fines, I reckon.
I know Sean Dyche, he's got a wheel of forfeits. So like so he's got obviously the rule book, and if you break them, you spin the wheel, which I think is a cracking little idea.
Yeah.
So you could do one training session dressed as like a fairy, there's something stupid like that, which is a bit of harmless fun. What else? Just I don't think it'll be monetary, my fines. I think it would be the standard sort of lateness, forgetting kit, that sort of stuff. But I don't think it'll be money oriented.
Yeah, similar. Lateness would definitely be my thing. Very very punctual. So that'll be my thing. But yeah, I'd say it wouldn't be money fines. It'd be stupid shit, forfeits. Maybe drinks for the end of the tournament. I'm going to bring dirty pints
Yeah,
into football.
this is when Rashford owes like 12 pints and he's just there trying to do it.
Yeah, I'm going to bring dirty pints, drinking piss and spit into football.
Proper rugby vibes.
I'd like to see Kane do that.
Yeah.
Oh, Sam's frozen.
Oh, he's got off of my screen. I can't even see him.
Ah, well, we'll just goodbye.
We'll
Sam.
call it there. Before we.
Yeah. Oh, is he going to come back? Oh, he's back.
He's back. He's back.
Some of that.
That's right. Right. So we'll just have a little wrap up. I've got answers from Lucas and Ryan, so I shall play them. This is Lucas.
Which footballer who played for Scotland from 2002 to 30 in captain's country also represented Newcastle, Darlington, Hibernian, Derby, Celtic, and Wigan? I don't know.
I feel like this would just be my sort of answer.
I don't know.
I was going to say, are you still playing it?
No, nothing from Lucas. No answer.
No. There you go. I'm sure Ryan's going to pull this out of his ass
Yeah,
from somewhere.
I just love Lucas. He just never sounds like he's bothered by any of these questions. he's lost motivation. So
part of me really wants him to catch up with me, so me and him have that like sort of little competitiveness at the bottom. But part of me also goes, I don't want to be down there with Lucas. Like,
well, yeah, no answer from Lucas, so we can't compare there. But Ryan he's going to pull this out of the bag.
he is.
It's a full minute.
Which footballer who played for Scotland from 2002 to 2013 and captained his country also represented Newcastle, Darlington, Hibs, Derby, Celtic, and Wigan?
It's not good noises to start with.
No.
This is quite difficult, actually. I can't think of anyone.
Ooh, I like some of that.
To be fair, we all had the same reaction.
Darlington as well. Didn't they fold about 10 years ago?
What's that?
And then they started up a new team, Darlington, but
Again, pointless facts you don't need to know.
I don't know. I'm going to have to do a Jamie and pass on this one.
Oh my God, Ryan, fuck off. Screw this
He's
podcast.
been
I don't even
beaten.
want this.
Ryan's finally been beaten. Right. Yeah, Chug said he's read it. He's seen it but not read it. He's at work, so
That's fair.
we won't get that one. But yeah, that was quite an
Can
enjoyable
we find the answer out for the viewers at home in case it's absolutely...
I will. Let's have a look. Sam has nailed it.
Oh.
It is Gary Caldwell.
I'm well happy with that.
That's a cracking answer.
It was.
Do we think Chug's going to get that?
Maybe. I think the Wigan will probably get him.
It's a sort of it'll be a full minute answer.
Yeah.
And it'll just suddenly come out of it with about 10 seconds to go.
Yeah.
Oh, Gary
Sounds
Caldwell. He played for Wigan, didn't he? Gary Caldwell. I'm going to go with Gary Caldwell.
That's like it.
Right. Anyway, that was a very enjoyable one.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah, like I said, I'd like to get us all involved for the uni memories one because obviously we all went to uni together.
Yeah.
So we'll try and find a day where we're all free for that. I mean, it sounds free.
We'll do some PG stories as well. Some of us are teachers now, can't be disclosing everything that we did.
We might have to. You can come off the call at that point and then come back.
Yeah. I'll come off at that point.
Anyway, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. See you next week for some more university memories of chatting shit. Goodbye.